Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Today I have got another video in store for us, and don't worry, it won't be that god-awful Umbrella Academy video. I promise I'll fix that. But anyways, today I thought I might as well jump right in and not take so much of your time, because this video will probably be as long as it is for like the next 20-30 minutes. So today I'm doing a video essay again. So if you're not interested in these video essays for the next 20 to 30 minutes of your time, I advise you leave right now. The door is over there. Okay, but for me, I would like to get into this. For so long, I have been bottling my emotions. I have been suppressing them for so long. Since, when did this season come out? It came out like in, when did it come out? Like 2020, last year? No, 2020 is this year. It came out in 2019, last year. I have been holding down my feelings for the past year, but I feel they've reached their boiling point, and like a volcano, it explodes. Like, I just reached a point where I could not suppress them anymore. So I thought I might as well talk about this and get it off my chest. I might as well share it with someone and finally get it off my chest. I talk about it and I leave it in the past. So yeah, so let me just stop repeating. Let me just stop stalling, and let's get into this right away. Let us talk about Ninjago Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Speed Jutsu. This is my video. This is going to be a video essay where I'm going to rant for the next, again, 20 to 30 minutes about why I think Ninjago Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Ninjutsu, is not just the worst season of Ninjago, but it's honestly Ninjago at its worst. This is honestly a really great show, and if you guys remember, I did a past video talking about my top 10 shows of all time. This was in number, like, what, top 3? So this is honestly a really great show. However, I feel like it got mucked over so hard by Season 11. And you're probably thinking, Phoenix, Ninjago has had some accidents in the past. What about Seasons 1, Day of the Departed, Season 7, all those, you know? And to those I say, well, they all had excuses for being bad. Season 1 had an excuse being that it was the first, it was the first season made. Like, this was the first one. So obviously, it could what's this? It had some leeway. There was room for it to grow. So I don't hate Season 1 as much. Some people like complain about Season 2. For me, it was only really like the first 4 episodes that bothered me. So I wasn't annoyed because they were all like filler. Day of the Departed, yeah, that's right. We didn't have an incident until after Season 6. Day of the Departed, I agree it was bad. I'm not even going to bother defending it. But the only thing I will say about it is that it was mercifully short. Only 45 minutes long. That's half the length of the TV movie and the theatrically released movie. So I do not have a problem with Day of the Departed because it's so short. And the only reason why I call attention to it is because Cole turned back into a human in that short. Special. It's a special, not a short. Then there was Season 7. I don't consider Season 7 bad. I just consider it very disappointing. There was so much riding on it, and I think that the fact that there was so much pressure being put on this season, considering that there was even a movie gonna come out after it, is what drove the writers to like the brink. So that's what I noticed about Ninjago. Like, when they're calm and they've planned everything out, we get great seasons. But when they are pressured, like when you feel like there's pressure being put on the writers and such, that's when they go ahead and mess everything up. So Season 7, not bad, just disappointing. And you might be saying, well, 8 was bad, and I don't consider 8 bad. I just consider it just new and strange. But then we have 11. Why is 11 bad? I consider 11 to be horrible because it has no excuse whatsoever. There's simply no excuse as to why this season is bad. And I'm going to dissect this season. I'm going to go into why this season is bad and how it has most likely changed Ninjago. Probably not forever, and I don't think the change it had on Ninjago will affect it into the far future. But I do think it has changed Ninjago in a way that will make me very unhappy for the foreseeable future. It won't change my views on the show, but I feel like I won't be as sucked in as I was pre-Season 11. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give off all the horrible points Season 11 has made, and I hope that the writers of Ninjago can take these points and understand why they should never do this again. This is a stunt that they should never, ever pull again in their lifetime. I want to dissect this season and understand what makes it tick, what went wrong, and hopefully, maybe someone who works at Cartoon Network will see this video. Maybe you guys know someone who's there and you can share it with them. and they can learn from their mistakes so that this never gets repeated. This is my dissection on Ninjago Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu. Why it's not only the worst Ninjago season, but why it's also Ninjago at its worst. I'm beginning, sort of. So, before I watched this video, I was like doing some research, like to write notes on how I can make this more structured and not like make the video longer than it should be. And I came across this video from this channel called Mount Killer Ninjago. I hope I said that right. And he made a 2-minute video expressing, well, it was more like 3 minutes. It was a 3-minute video of him talking about everything he hated from Ninjago Season 11. And I'm like, I was going to talk here for the next 20 to 30 minutes about why I hate Season 11. And this guy has done it in 3 minutes. It's amazing. So this guy did like a 3-minute video explaining why he doesn't like Season 11. And I'm like, oh my god, all the points I was going to talk about in that video, I'm going to talk about here. And so, yeah. So instead of me just going to repeat everything he said, I'll probably like leave a link or something in the comments. But as of now, I'm just gonna expand on those points I saw. I'm gonna expand on the points I saw in that video, and I'm gonna explain why each of those points is important, and I'm also gonna explain why these points are some of the reasons Ninjago Season 11 drags down. So to begin, Ninjago Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, Fire and Ice chapters. First thing you know is that this title is way too long. What the hell? Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, Fire and Ice chapters. So you're probably wondering, what does Fire and Ice chapters mean? So this season is a season of 13 episodes, and we get 15 episodes for both sides. So for the first half, we have the Fire chapter, and for the second half, we have the Ice chapter. And so it will be 15 episodes per chapter. And yeah, that will be the 30 episodes we get from Season 11. So where do I go? Like, I want to do this in a structured way so that I do not miss anything, and at the same time I don't make this video longer than it should be. So let me start with, why the hell do we have 30 episodes? That, to me, again, just like the season, it's too long and it's too much. With 30 episodes, it's like, you're obviously gonna get some filler in there, and boy did we get filler. And these are probably some of the worst filler episodes I've seen in Ninjago. Yes, even worse than Season 2. Not as bad as Ninja Ball Run, but almost on that level. But yeah, so for those 7 people who don't know what Ninjago is, it's a show about ninjas, each with their own superpowers, and Season 11 focuses on, well, I should say like 2 stories. The first half of Season 11 focuses on ninja fighting a super snake, as another serpentine. And the second half focuses on them going to another realm and fighting some ice warriors. So, yeah. So, first things off the bat, I guess we should talk about the real life aspect of Ninjago looking in before I talk about the in-universe problems with it. So, outside, how do we say? We have the episodic structure. I already talked about the filler episodes. This is already bad as it is. 30 episodes should not carry an entire season. There's bound to be filler, and boy is it horrible. And we have the inconsistency. So like, again, before I go into the inconsistencies, let me talk about the episodic structure as well, before I talk about the filler. With the episodic structure, the episodes are 11 minutes long, so it feels more like I'm watching Teen Titans Go than I am Ninjago. And the problem is, normally with 11-minute cartoon episodes, they would be episodic. They wouldn't have a continuing storyline. Like, it would have a reset button where one episode ends, the next episode would begin, sort of like on a clean slate. So there would be no consequences. With this show, however, it's trying to tell a story with 11-minute episodes. And these are they pale in comparison to their predecessors of the 22-minute episodes. Personally, with the 22-minute episodes, we would get more story time, more character development, and it would be so much better. This season could have easily been 15 episodes and nothing would have been wrong with that. But they made it 30 episodes and I am so mad. I just don't understand why they did this. I've gotten more used to it now because right now, as time of recording, Season 13 has wrapped up. And I'm more used to it, though I'm still not in love with it. I hate the 11-minute episodes. So, yeah. In fact, that was one of the points from the Mount Killer Ninjago video. In fact, I'll be borrowing some of those points and bringing them into this video. I just wish I had my pen, I would write it down. But that was one of the problems. The 11-minute episodes, not in love with them. They suck. So that's one point. The other point is the inconsistency. So this is more to do with Ninjago as a whole, because like we know some of the things in season 8 don't connect with the things in season 7, and some of the things in season 11 don't connect with season 10. But I wanted to say that season 11 has the worst inconsistencies, and I don't think it's this season's fault. This is more of season 10's fault. For where season 10 wanted to wrap everything up, season 11 has to start off by not only bringing in new things, but by the time it's bringing in new things, it has to ignore some of the old things. So it was like a whole mess, and I feel like season 11 really suffered because of that. Again, not all of this was its fault. This was more of season 7 and 8's fault rather than being season 11's fault, though I feel like season 11 suffers very greatly from this. And then there's also the missed potential. Everyone talks about the missed potential Ninjago had. They go one direction and you're like, oh, they should have gone this direction. Because I remember I once wanted to do a video on season 7 and how they could have made it a time traveling season where they go to different points in time, but they didn't really time travel until the last episode. That was a very big missed opportunity. I really thought season 8 was going to be more of them going to different time periods throughout the show's run, but apparently that wasn't the case, and it wasn't meant to be. So that's just me. But yeah, with season 11, there's a lot of missed potential, especially considering the ice chapter. With the ice chapter, they go to this new realm called the Nether Realm, and with the Nether Realm, what I hated most about it is that we got filler episodes in this part of the season, and they could have done so much to explore the wild and the lore of this new land. Like, how does time work here? How do the creatures who live here operate? What the hell is going on? Why are the wolves like this? We get no explanation on that whatsoever. We just get Zane's a villain, boom, end of story. And I really hate the episodic structure here because not only does it damage like the runtime of the episodes, but it also damages the story itself. Which I'm not going to talk about the story just now. I'm going to go on to the character development. Let's talk about Kai and Zane. So these are supposed to be the poster boys for this season. Their faces are on the box and everything. And a lot of people do say that they're the main characters of this season. I want to digress so heavily on this. For one, Kai isn't the main character of the Fire chapter, because like even though the Fire chapter is named the Fire chapter, Kai isn't the main character of it. For one thing, he barely gets any dialogue for like the first few episodes. Then when they do meet Asphira, she takes his powers from him and he's unconscious for a full episode. For one whole episode, we get no Kai, no Fire Ninja. And he doesn't get his powers back until the end of the Ice chapter, the second part of the season. So his arc carries on into the Ice chapter, where he has to realize that he has to get his powers back. And even then, when he doesn't have his powers, he's whining and complaining, feeling about how useless he feels. And I'm like, we went through this arc in season 5 where he lost his powers, and he became the leader of the team by having the ninja put more trust in him, realizing that they don't have their powers, so they have to put trust in one another. I'm like, that was such a cool arc. They're repeating it in season 11, except they're having him whine and complain about not having his powers, and then they come back like at the tail end of the Ice chapter with him now getting his powers, you know, digging deep and then killing Zane's ice dragon with it. And I'm like, oh, so now is when he gets his powers. I don't know, I'm so angry at this. He doesn't get his powers back until the end of the Ice chapter, and it's supposed to be like this big defining moment. It just, he doesn't get his powers until then. There's like, we get some build up, but it's not like a fully fleshed out character arc, and it hurts me so much. God. Then we have, since the Fire chapter is over, he's not like the face of the Ice chapter. He doesn't get any character development in the Ice chapter. But putting Kai aside, you know, like, he's my favorite ninja, so I am more angry than I should be, but I'll put him aside for now. Then we have Zane. Zane, God, where do I even start with Zane? I feel like post season 8, Zane has been backbenched so much that he's barely an enjoyable character anymore. Because now he feels like a character who is just there. And I feel like this has to do with everything post season 8, 9 around there. He's been so heavily backbenched. Season 11, he does have a comeback because he's the character who defeats Asphira, and he's the one who goes to a Nether Realm, and he is sort of the main villain of season 11. However, the problem I have with Zane is that even though he does get a lot of lines in the Fire chapter, in the Ice chapter, he he's not there for the entirety of the season. He's just not there. He comes back like in the last few episodes, now being the Ice Emperor, being the main villain. The problem I have with this is that he comes back being the ice villain. Like you see Zane being this threatening evil dude. He comes back being the ice emperor and such. Like he's the main villain of the ice chapter. But then we find out he's not even the main villain. It's apparently this guy called Vex who's been manipulating Zane this whole time. And the thing with Zane is that he got turned to being a villain so easily. Like apparently he got short-circuited. Yeah, for those who don't know, Zane is a robot. He got short-circuited and now he lost his memory. Then Vex told him that he has powers and that he's the Ice Emperor. And I'm like, hold up, excuse me. Zane isn't doing this out of his own volition. He's not the evil Ice Emperor. He's not like this big baddie. He's just like he's just a weapon for Vex to use. And mind you, he's not been in the season for majority of the time. And even when he is the villain, we don't get any development from him because he's lost all his agency. So why is he the main character of season 11? Why are people saying he's the main character? Because he doesn't turn good until the very end. It just... And we don't even see how he feels guilty that for the past 40 to 50 years, at least in the Netherrealm, that he's been, I don't know, that he's been freezing everything and everyone who's refusing to submit to him. And even then, he's been corrupting them. It's so bizarre. Then we have Lloyd. Lloyd, I'm really not happy with him. He's really been stealing the spotlight from the other ninja. He did it at first with Kai in season 4, when Kai's arc had wrapped up. Like season 4 was Kai's season. This had been a debate in my mind I have been with for a long time because I'm wondering, who the hell is the main character in season 4? And all signs point to Kai, though I didn't want to buy it because Lloyd stole the spotlight at the end. Now I've achieved enlightenment. And I now know for a fact that Kai is the main character of season 4. The only problem is that Lloyd stole his spotlight, and how he stole the spotlight is like, we have this whole arc between him and Gabardon in like the last 2 episodes. It really annoyed me. Then we have it again in season 5 when he steals it from Nia, because Nia was supposed to be the main character of season 5. But now there's a hot debate over the fans saying that it should have been Lloyd. Here's the thing. Lloyd has been under possession for majority of the season. Like, he doesn't come back until episode 8. So, again, he's lost his agency. So, long and short of the story, Nia is the main character of season 5. Anyone else who says differently is wrong, and they should live with that. And then they should live with their incompetence and their ignorance, but whatever. And does he steal the spotlight again? Not really. I mean, no, because, okay. No, I mean, until season 10. Season 10, it's until then, because, like, when they do the tornado of creation, he almost dies. Like, how? Everyone else did it. How are you the one who's so pathetic at it? And he talks to the first Pinjitsu master, but then again, he's fine. So, in season 11, he steals the spotlight from both Kai and Zane, because he gets, He gets to go on the mission to fight the Ice Emperor. He tells the other ninja, stay in the village. I'm gonna go fight the Ice Emperor. He meets Akita along the way, and both of them go to fight Zane. And I'm just there like, really? So this is what we're gonna do now. So instead of it being Kai to go fight Zane, you know, the fire ninja, we're gonna go have the Master of Energy be the one to fight Zane. I mean, what the hell is this? How is this even allowed? Why is Lloyd stealing the spotlight? Like, in the fire chapter, he's stealing it from Kai, and in the ice chapter, he's stealing it from Zane. Everyone's having this debate of Kai and Zane being the main characters of season 11, when really, it's Lloyd. Lloyd is the main character, because he keeps stealing the spotlight from everyone. I remember I saw this one funny comment from someone saying, yo, who should we make, where it was like, the writers are having a discussion saying, who should we make the main character of season 13? Then, like, the two people in the chairs are like Cole and Lloyd, and then Lloyd stands up, maybe it could be me. Then the writer's like, boy, sit down, Cole, get up here. I really laughed at that meme. It was honestly hilarious. And so yeah, I just did not like Lloyd seeing the spotlight. One good thing season 11 did though was because was that it showed Lloyd still has the powers of the other ninja. Aside from having his own energy powers, we saw green lightning and we saw green fire in season 8. We saw green lightning when he was fixing the mech, and we saw green fire in season 8. So I'm just waiting for green earth and green ice. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Then we move on to the villains. God help me. Asphira is most likely the worst Ninjago villain ever. Yes, even worse than Acronix and Crux. Worse than Dione from March of the Oni. I honestly didn't like Dione that much. Worse than anyone you could think of. She is so she's so forgettable. Her every time she says revenge, I just wanna gouge one of my eyes out. And she is honestly just oof. She has a cool backstory, though. Her mere existence breaks canon, if you know what I'm saying. Because back in season 1, we find out that there were 5 tribes of Serpentine. Here, we get introduced to a 6th tribe, the Pyro Vipers. How are they even pyro? They didn't possess fire powers before, because like there was a flashback episode. We never saw the Pyro Vipers possess fire. All we know is that they're like heavily inspired by Egyptian culture. So I'm just here with, what the fudge are you doing here? Because you're essentially breaking canon. You're essentially telling me that there are 6 tribes of Serpentine. Not 5, 6. So it's making me wonder what happened. Were the Pyro Vipers exiled from being part of the 5 tribes? Were they not considered to be part of the 5 tribes? Like what happened? What kind of beef went on with the other 5 tribes? I don't know. Yet the 5 tribes do acknowledge their existence because they're the ones. They're the ones who give the ninja information about Asphira. It's honestly mind-boggling. And apparently we find out that they lived in a valley near the first Spinjitzu master, and my head hurts from thinking about the Pyro Vipers. They should not even exist. They break canon just by existing. Asphira is annoying. She just keeps on screaming revenge. She wants revenge on Wu, which is a cool twist. I like how it's Wu who's the cause of this trouble instead of Garmadon. That was interesting. Because we know the Garmadon family, they have a rough history with snakes. Lloyd lets out the Serpentine. Garmadon lets out... Garmadon starts leading the snakes and has the Great Devourer issue. And then Wu has the Pyro Vipers. It's a weird family. But yeah. Then we have the Ice Emperor, who, again, I'm going to reiterate. This is not my mark. This is from another video. I'll probably leave the link in the description. Who, I'll reiterate, is hands down not even a villain. Zane can't even be classified as a villain. I like the idea of Zane being evil. I like the idea of a ninja being evil. However, they need to be evil for a reason. The reason season 5 works so well is because Lloyd was the main villain of that season. Here's the thing though. He was possessed by Moro. Lloyd wasn't the villain. Moro was. He was just using Lloyd's body to fight. That's a cool twist. Having Zane physically be the main villain, you need to have a good reason for him to be the villain. Having him suffer from memory loss and then being manipulated to being the villain is even worse than Anakin's manipulation into being Vader. That is such a bad move for you to rely on, and I honestly don't even know how you'd work with it. So Zane doesn't work as a villain on his own terms, and Vex doesn't work as a villain because he comes at the very last minute. So it's very dumb. I really don't like it. It's dumb. Something's in my eye. Okay. Then we have the story. Let me just say before I go to say more, let me talk about the Scrolls of Forbidden Spinjitzu. Because in case you forgot, the season is called Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu. I'm just going to take a breath to unravel everything. The Scrolls of Forbidden Spinjitzu only get mentioned in the Fire chapter. They show up in the Ice chapter, sure, but they're not utilized properly. In the Fire chapter, we're told that the Spinjitzu Master accidentally created them and that these scrolls give you your true potential. They unlock an instant true potential for you. They're sort of like cheat codes. And you can do cool Spinjitzu, you can use your powers awesomely, and all that. The problem is that they can corrupt you, as in they'll corrupt you with their power and you'll turn evil. Moreover, they'll even send you to another dimension, the Netherrealm. And the first Spinjitzu Master accidentally took himself to the Netherrealm and he barely just came back. And he barely just got out. So that was an interesting story. The issue here is we get told all this in part 1, the Fire chapter. We see Zane get sent to the Netherrealm. We see the ninja all use the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu so that they unlock like their instant true potential. Mind you, every ninja unlocks their instant true potential except Kai. Again, he's my favorite ninja, so I'm having some serious beef with this. Anyway, one of the scrolls gets destroyed at the end of the first half, and we know that there's a second scroll. So by the end of season 11, we find out that Zane had been using the second scroll this whole time, and that the power corrupted him and turned him into the Ice Emperor. Here's the thing. I'm wondering. They say that it's almost impossible to get out of the Netherrealm. Like, you'll need some some traveler's berries mixed with traveler's tea. It's some weird bullcrap. What annoys me most about this is that if the scrolls can send you to the nether realm, can't they send you back to Ninjago? And here's the thing, we know at least one of those scrolls still exists. What the hell happened to it? Like, it honestly annoys me so much because the scrolls are this season's collectibles. If you don't know, every season has some sort of collectible, like the katanas, like the blades of deliverance, like the scrolls. That's at least from the new age of Ninjago. The collectibles from the new age have honestly been very weak. The katanas posed nothing. They honestly offered nothing to the table. They were so useless. And the scrolls at least played some part of the story, and the blades of deliverance, well, even the showrunners even told us that they were useless within the show. So I'm just spitting out facts here. And yeah, so it really annoys me. And so it really boggles my mind as to how we could have ended up here with these lame collectibles. Considering we've had other cool collectibles such as the golden armor, the dragon armor, the Hands of Time. So it's honestly very strange. But yeah, so they don't get mentioned in the ice chapter. They only come back at the very end when Zane destroys the other scroll. Wait, no, how many? Yeah, so no, sorry. Zane destroyed one of the scrolls at the end of the ice chapter. In which case, why would you do that? That was the only ticket home. Now you have to find a more complicated way to get home. What the hell is that thing? There's a thing over here. It's weird. And now I'm just wondering what the heck. I don't even know why I'm not cracking jokes here. I'm just becoming mad. Hopefully my madness is funny enough for you guys, because I'm just running out of ideas. Like, I am too angry to make what do you call it? To make jokes, because right now I just want the fan base to know what I think is canon, what isn't canon. And hopefully there is at least just one person out there who agrees with me. I don't even care if you're a dog, just agree with me. So yeah, and then we find out that there's at least one more scroll in Ninjago, which Pixel used to send the ninja into the netherrealm. Oh yeah, Pixel holds the scroll and unlocks her true potential. Don't worry, she's not an elemental master, though her eyes glow. If Pixel can use the scroll, why the hell can't Kai? And another thing I want to mention is, I should probably mention this in the character development part, but in the original script, Kai and Zane were the ones who were about to have the showdown. Like, the original climax was gonna be Kai versus Zane. We were gonna have a fire v ice battle, Kai, the fire ninja versus the ice emperor. That was gonna be cool. However, for some dumb reason, Lloyd and Akita went to go fight Zane. I'm just at a loss for words. I don't understand how they had so much to work with, yet they made it so difficult for themselves. Why? I don't understand. This should have been a walk in the park for you fools, you nincompoops. How do you have such a great show in your hands and then you just ditch it? What the hell? I'm sorry. I went somewhere for a bit. The animation for the show for this season isn't bad, but considering we just came off season 10, which had spectacular animation, mind you, and this is what we get, it's really not that great. The action is nothing to speak about. I will say the use of the elemental powers is cool though, and I did like the anime episodes, though again most of them were just filler. But I mean, there was one anime episode which was just there to build up the other two anime episodes, but it was like, okay, I kind of wish we had more anime stuff down the road, but whatever, I'm not allowed to say anything. And yeah, why do we need filler episodes again? Because like there was an episode where Pixel fights the cursed realm as a kaiju. I'm like, did she really just defeat this thing with electricity? Mind you, this was the season finale where the ninja had to send a tidal wave on this thing to defeat it. She could have fought the Great Devourer, but that would be retconning again. I just don't understand why things happen like this half the time. Why is she fighting the Cursed Realm? This is such a waste of an episode. Why did this episode have to happen? Why did we have a pointless anime episode? It was funny, sure, but why? Why did half the things that happened this season have to happen? There were so many pointless filler episodes. I can't even begin to start with how annoying they are. And That's just part of the problem. There are so many problems with this season. I don't even know where we start. But unfortunately, I've gone too far down the rabbit hole. So I guess I might as well wrap this up because I really do not want to be here longer than I should. So our next point was going to be horrible age of new Ninjago. For those who don't know, in my history of Ninjago review, I spoke about how Season 11 was the new age of Ninjago. Season 8 was supposed to be the new age of Ninjago, but that was because it came out after the movie. So obviously people who saw the movie would be attracted to the show and they would watch Season 8. So for the people who watched Season 8, they would be like, this is cool. So Season 8, 9, and 10, they would be along for the ride because that was an interesting story. However, after Season 10 wrapped up the whole Oni and Dragon trilogy, the fans would most likely leave. Like the people who are now attracted to the show would most likely leave the show because, well, I mean, why would they want to watch onward? They've already seen the entire Oni and Dragon trilogy. They have no reason to stick around. That's if they have not been attracted to the show. If they have been attracted to the show, then that means they'll stay for future Ninjago content. Maybe they'll go watch the previous seasons. And that's where Season 11 is bad for me. Because after Season 10 wrapped up most of the things from the previous seasons, we have Season 11. Season 11 is supposed to be the new age of Ninjago. This is supposed to be like a new dawn, like we're walking into something new. In which case, just make a sequel series. Like, no one will get mad at you if you do. But we have a new thing to look forward to. Now, the biggest problem with this is that obviously Season 11 had to ignore a lot of the inconsistencies that the previous 10 seasons had. So they had to ignore them and pretend they don't exist. And I don't think we will come back to these inconsistencies for the near future. If you want to know what I think of these, I've done more Ninjago videos in the past. Go check them out. I'm not going to repeat myself. But yeah, so obviously they had to ignore what happened, what came before. And I feel that this was a bad move on their part. Because it means the fans who wanted to stick around after Season 10, once they see this horrible abomination of Ninjago, they might leave. This season might end up chasing away the fans. It might end up chasing more fans than it attracts. Some people do like the season. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shaming those who like the season, but I do feel that the new fans who came to watch this season, you know, the new fans who came to watch the show after they saw the movie, might get chased away by this season, even though it's supposed to be the first season in a new line. And yeah, this really is rock bottom for Ninjago. Another thing is that it's a very bad way to start. If this is gonna be like your opening to a new dawn, it's making people very skeptical. Don't get me wrong, I was also skeptical, because this is rock bottom for Ninjago. We've gone down so low that it's impossible for us to get lower. Hence, when Season 12 came out, everyone is so biased towards it, saying, oh yes, this is a masterpiece. Oh yes, this is a masterpiece. They're all saying that because Season 12 is so much better than Season 11 that people are hyping it up more than it should be. Don't get me wrong, it's a good season, but I wouldn't call it a great season. And I feel like everyone is overpraising Season 12, even though it really has no reason to be overpraised. And that's all because of Season 11, of how bad it was. To me, in my opinion, Season 11 is everything wrong. Season 11 holds everything wrong with Ninjago that even though the other seasons had before it, this one kind of took everything Ninjago, it kind of took everything negative about Ninjago and concentrated it into one season. And that's my biggest problem with it. And that's why I have an issue with Ninjago Season 11. And so, to cap off, let me finish. Why does Ninjago Season 11 suck? Well, here's why it sucks, in my opinion. For one, this season refused to grow up with its audience. Again, it tried to be a new dawn for Ninjago. And unfortunately, when it did that, it kind of erased everything that happened before it. Now, with Season 11, it's kind of like we're digging from the ground up. It's like we're starting a new game from the ground up. And since Ninjago originally started as a kids show, Season 11 has this weird knack for feeling like it must be a kids show. And so, all the grown-up and darker themes we had in Seasons 8, 9, and 10 are all gone. Seasons 8, 9, and 10 are highly loved and respected because they had darker themes. It's because it felt more adult. It felt like it was growing up with the audience that came to watch it from 2011. I've been a long-time fan of Ninjago. I started watching the show in 2015, 2016, around there. So I've been around for about 4 to 5 years. So I understand how this works. And honestly, I've even written my fair share of Ninjago, I've written my fair share of Ninjago fan fiction. And so I consider myself a fan. I don't own a lot of the sets, but I own a lot of the minifigures. And so when I see season 11, this feels like a slap to the face for me, because it's as if the show is saying, you've overstayed your welcome, old fan. Make way for the new fans. How can you make way for the new fans when you're chasing away both fans? You're chasing away both the new fans and the old fans. It just doesn't make sense. Another reason why season 11 sucks to me is because it's not written by the Hageman brothers. For those who don't know, Ninjago is headed by, like, I want to say, like, the three musketeers. We have the Hageman brothers, two brothers who write the show, and we have Tommy Andreas. So there was a bit of weird history, which I'll dig into just a little bit. I won't dig into it so much. Where these three people would write Ninjago seasons. And when these three people come together to write Ninjago seasons, they would release banger after banger. Season 3, 4, 5, 6. It would all be good. When these three people came together and put their heads together, they would write amazing pieces of work. However, the Hageman brothers left Ninjago to go write other shows, such as Troll Hunters, which, as you know, is also another personal favorite show of mine. And they left Tommy Andreas on his own. That's why season 7 feels like it has a bit lower quality when it comes to writing. No shade on Tommy Andreas, it's just that he really needed help when writing it, and that's why season 7 was disappointing. Also, another reason why I wasn't a big fan of Day of the Departed, because, well, only one person wrote it. Essentially, they're obviously other writers, but these guys are the three big men. Then, after the movie, season 8 and 9, for season 8 and 9, the Hageman brothers came back to write season 8 and 9, and this felt like classic Ninjago. This felt like so good. It felt like we were back in the olden days, especially season 9 for me, because as you guys know, 9 is personally my favorite season. Season 10, it's unclear. I don't know whether the Hageman brothers stayed around for season 10, but season 10 was also another really good season. Not the best, but it was also another really good season that I feel was written well done. And if the Hageman brothers did leave for season 10, then I would say they kind of left like some leftovers for Tommy to use. However, when it came to season 11, the Hageman brothers had now left the show. They said that they are not coming back to do Ninjago, and they want to move on to better things. So after season 9, 10, they stopped coming back, and they stopped writing for Ninjago. So they're not going to write for Ninjago anymore, and I don't think they're going to work on it anytime soon. Tommy Andreas is still around, though the Hageman brothers aren't. So with season 11, you can tell that the writing is extremely off because the Hageman brothers aren't there. And it's honestly kind of sad because it means we'll never get another classic Ninjago season for the foreseeable future. I don't know, that's just me. But again, no shade on Tommy Andreas here. But you can definitely tell something is lacking with season 11. 12 and 13 are better. You can tell that these are people now who are starting to like Ninjago. But with 11, it wasn't that great. So that's another reason Ninjago season 11 sucks, is that it doesn't grow up with its audience. It forgets everything that came before it. And even the people who made it are almost all gone. 90% of the people are gone, and we're left with one person who has to steer this boat by himself. And in honesty, I kind of feel bad for him. And another thing with season 11 is that it just breaks canon beyond understanding. If you try and dig into this season, you will be lost. And hence why I feel Ninjago season 11 is the worst is honestly Ninjago at its worst. I mean, season 1 and 2, there was room for improvement. You could do more. Season 7 was disappointing, but not bad. Day of the Departed was short. It was a special, thank God. With season 11, it had no excuse. It had a whole legacy to live up to, but the pressure on this season was being put on so much. There was so much pressure being put on this season that it had no choice but to fail. And the fact that it had 11-minute episodes instead of 22-minute episodes made it so much worse. And hence, I don't think this season was meant. This season could have been saved. However, I feel like it was doomed from the start. And those are my thoughts on why Ninjago season 11 not only sucks, not only is it the worst season of Ninjago, but it's honestly Ninjago at its worst. I honestly don't feel this could be redeemed anyway, anyhow. And if you can redeem it, first step, make it 15 episodes. Then try and come up with a concrete story. Please, in my opinion, write out a sphere. If you want to make this season better, cut out Asphira. Just cut out the entire fire chapter. We do not need that. We've already had snakes. And that's another problem I have with season 11, is that it feels like a copy of season 1 and 2. It feels like a copy of season 1 by reintroducing the fans to the show. And it feels like season 2, where the first half of the season, the villains are snakes, and the second half are samurai. It doesn't work well. So, in my opinion, cut out Asphira. Her story means nothing. Cut it out entirely. With the second half, make it more about the ice chapter, but give it more of a structure in a way that it will flow. Maybe I'll do a video on this someday. Maybe I won't. I highly doubt I'll do it. But I don't feel season 11 could be redeemed that much, and hence why it's honestly the worst to me. If you are going to be introduced to Ninjago, if you're a new fan, I would suggest, and you want to skip all the hassle of watching season 1 through 10, I suggest you start with season 12. Do not watch season 11, you might be chased away. Start by watching season 12 and 13, then go back and watch the other seasons. If you want to watch the other seasons, good, start with season 1. But however, if you just came from watching the movie, start with season 8. Anyways, those are my thoughts on season 11 and why I feel Ninjago should never pull another stunt like this again. Because now, all the other characters have been backbenched even. I haven't mentioned Cole, I haven't mentioned Jay. Those guys are like so standard. Cole went through this weird semi-arc where he wants to find a new friend. Jay is fine, he's just stagnant. Nia is having this issue of where she wants to control snow. In which case now, Zane is kind of pointless, because now that means Nia can control snow. So what's the point of having the Master of Ice, you know? But, you know, whatevers. So guys, those are my thoughts on Ninjago season 11, on why it was such a colossal failure, and why Ninjago really needs help, and how I feel they should look on this video and never make another mistake like this again. Anyways guys, that's been my thoughts. Tell me, what did you think of season 11? What did you think of Ninjago season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Spijutsu? I really want to know your thoughts down below. Was it a good season? Was it a bad season? Is what I'm saying false? Is what I'm saying true? Do you agree with me? Do you have something extra to add? Do you want to defend this season? I really want to know. I really want to know what you guys think. Again, down in the comment section below. Thank you so very much for watching, guys. I have been Captain Phoenix, and with that, I will see you in another universe.